This is my Valhalla control board out of a Linn Sondek LP-12. Now I built this maybe 15-20 years ago. So the board is actually out of the bottom of the turntable chassis, and it was put in a separate case just for heat more than anything else. So what I have here is 3 capacitors, and as you can see, these cause cancer and reproductive harm, which is a bit amazing. And I'm going to replace these 3 capacitors because the motor won't actually turn. It turns just a little bit, so it goes like that, but it's obviously doesn't have enough torque to turn it at its proper speed. So let's get on with it. Find the correct screwdriver and disconnect this power supply, power lead I should say. Now the Valhalla power supply is very old and it doesn't necessarily have a great reputation. There's much better newer supplies like the Lingo 4, I think they're up to the 4 or the 5 in the Lingo, and they allow 33 and 45. This is only the 33 one. So we'll see how we go. I may replace these ones down here as well if I've got the correct sizes, especially this one here. It looks like a yes, it looks like a J-car one or something like that. It's not a particularly good brand. Okay. So this will be fairly straightforward. I'm not sure why they did the black solder mask on these. It's very strange. Right across there. It's not. It was like that when I bought it. So these are reasonable ones. They're yes, Cornell W. Couldn't get anything else with radial leads on it. So again, I'm going to struggle, I think, to get the solder off of these, but we'll try anyway. These are fairly chunky leads on these. That doesn't look very good at all, does it? That is that, yeah, that trace has come off of there, and it's been put across. Yeah, okay. So we'll see what we can do with this one. Will it lift? Well, that was easy. Now these, I believe, were the original capacitors, so it may have done that. They may have done that in the factory. Okay. Just actually push this through and chop it. So there's a bit of solder hanging on to the end of the lead. So positive in that way, okay. Geez, this board's had a hard life. Forgotten how bad it was. But it was cheap. Okay. This was, of course, at the time when turntables were going out of fashion. And nobody particularly wanted turntables. And by the time we watch this, I should have my desoldering tool. So I've actually had a text message this morning saying it is expected between Monday and Wednesday of next week, which will be, of course, prior to actually watching this video. Now I'll do this again how it was. I'll just go and get my flux out of the fridge again. Now I know this isn't the prettiest of things to do, but use the big blob of solder on it and hope that it makes contact. If the solder will come off the soldering iron. So we'll test the continuity on that one. Okay, so it's made contact, which is good. And we've got one there, two there, and one there. So I looked up the Lingo a couple of days ago, and you can get them for around about $1,000 for the early Lingo ones, and the new ones cost around about $15,000. So hence my wishing to fix this one. I mean, partly it's the exchange rate, which at the moment is pretty dire. down to about 65 US cents, I think we are at the moment. Okay. So I'll just seal up the ends of these leads with the solder. Okay. That looks all good. Now, which is this? Is this a... So 220 at 35. It's a Panasonic. Not sure what brand these blue ones were. So 220 at 35. Now this is a 220 at 50. And it's good Nichicon cap. So I may as well do this while we're at it. So plus is up this end. That should be those two. Okay, that's interesting. The solder has just gone straight through the hole. And here we go. This will be so much easier once I get my desoldering tool again. Okay. Now I don't know what the original one was in there, but I suspect that I may have upgraded it quite a bit. Now, and also remember to always turn the screws backwards until they drop in to the original thread, otherwise you'll have multiple threads. Okay, so I'll connect it up to the turntable, which is in the living room, of course, with the tape recorder, which is running quite happily at the moment. So I'll bring you in over to the turntable. Now, this will either go straight on or not as I plug it into the mains. And so far so good. Whoa! Okay. Now something went bang and a big spark came out. So what I might do is it didn't come straight away, and the I don't think the fuse is blown even. So the spark came from down here. Okay, so I'll unplug the turntable and we'll see how we go. Okay, so we're not getting a spark now. Oh, and I figured out why the counter isn't working on the tape recorder, and it's this belt. So there's a toothed belt and it's gone rock hard and shattered. So I'll have to get another one of those from somewhere. Did a resistor blow or something? Okay, so we'll put this back in. Put the power back on. Whoa! I wonder what's wrong with it. Okay, back to the drawing board, I think. So I've managed to find the manual from 1999, and down the bottom here it suggests replacing the resistor 1 with a proper surge resistor. And down the very last page there is suggestions that another resistor should be replaced, but both of those test okay. Then down the very last entry is the smoothing capacitors, which is C9, 10, 11 and 12, and they're apparently not easy to ascertain which one is the cause of a problem, so replace the whole lot, which I find very amusing. But as they're little ones anyway, they're probably not going to cost very much. And they are from their 0.1 J100s, which means they're 0.1 of a microfarad and 100 volts. So I'll go and get some of those when I'm next in Melbourne, and we'll continue on. I'm not sure quite what sparked, but we'll do that next time. So this is resistor 1, which they refer to, and that is perfectly all right. I think that may have been replaced at some stage though, because the lead has been soldered halfway down. The bridge rectifier is also a cause for concern. That's R32, which is also perfectly all right. And that's another one which they suggest replacing, but that is perfectly all right as well. These are the 5.1 J100s, which they suggest replacing, and I haven't tested those. I'll just replace them as a matter of course. But the spark came from somewhere just below the controlology labeling there. So it's one of those 3 resistors, and I can't quite say why, because they're all in good condition. So it's a mystery to me why it is sparking and not working. Okay, I'll wrap this up for now, and I'll speak to you next week. Okay, bye.